yesterday. It was the multiplying fractions, how to multiply fractions, blah, 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 and wait for it, blah. For your exam, you need to know the following. You need to know how to draw, what it would be in words, and get a right answer. Job number 1, always get a right answer. Job number 2, probably know what you're doing in words. And job number 3, use a stinking rectangle to do what you need to get done. All right, so we'll do a couple of these, and then I'm going to show you hopefully something that is going to make your day. You heard me, Hans. Something that will make your day. All right, so CJ, Echo, button it. He'll be there at some point. He will come back. He has lots of plaster of Paris for you to write on, so it's all good. All right, so what does this first question say up at the top here, right here? What does that one say? Somebody just help me out and just say it in words without using the word multiply. Salisi. 5 groups of 3/4. 5 groups of 3/4. All right. We are missing something so that we can multiply the fractions. We are missing one very important thing. What would be missing? A denominator of uno, or Juan. My cousin Juan from Puerto Rico. 5 times 3 is. So you multiply the numerators. 1 times 4 is. All right. That is a fraction. That would be improper, aka wrong. So, we use the division house unless you're smart enough to do this without doing it. 4 goes into 15 how many times? 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract. Can I make a group of 4 when I only have 3? Oh, Jeno says, yeah. No, Harbeck. No, you can't do it. So, you have a remainder of 3 in a group of 4. Your answer, which you put in a box. No, I'm recording right now. They have to do it later. I'll come and find them. No, yeah, thanks. All right, so 3 3/4, yes? Answer, because it's the same thing. Well, welcome to number 2. This is number 2. And this question is very different than the first question. All right, so in words, what are we doing here? In words, Delphin. Excellent. Finding 2/5 of 2/3. All right, to show this properly, I now get rid of this so that I have room to draw a rectangle. You start with what you have. Do you have 2/5 or do you have 2/3? You have 2/3. And you show 2/3 this way. I do not have 2/3. I have 2/5 of 2/3. So I now take my 2/5 and I break up my whole into fifths the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 parts means fifths. Now here is what you need to know. Do I have anything here? No. I do have a third here that is cut up into fifths, and I have 2 parts out of those 5. 1, 2. I have a third. The third that I have 2 parts out of 5. 1, 2. How many parts do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, Hans, they don't see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 15ths. Multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and you are done. How are we doing? Well, now we move on to these two lovelies. And when I say lovelies, boy, they are delicious and nutritious. Delicious and nutritious. Nico, what does that question at the top say? 3/4 of 4/5. You are so good. 4/5. Okay, I like this. I like this. So when you multiply the fraction, you multiply the numerator, you multiply the denominator, and you simplify if possible. What is 3 times 4?
Wow.
Nice. What is 4 times 5? Nice. Is that a simplifiable fraction? Yes. What is it simplifiable by? 4.
Oh my God.
So now we are going to divide by the identity of 1, otherwise known as 4/4. 12 divided by 4 is 20 divided by 4 is, your final answer is 3/5. Hans, please listen to my voice. Do not listen to them. They know nothing. 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 Here, I speak through magnifying glass so you hear me more. Oh, you can't see me. Oh, well, whatever. Don't laugh too hard. Your leg will hurt. Don't do that. Don't. All right. Anyways, can you see me? Can you see me? Another intelligent class question. Can he see you? He can see the board.
Please excuse the interruption. When Kaylin Lutz and George Blackburn, please report to the office.
All right, so if I have to draw this, you start with what you have. You have 4/5, and the 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. 4/5. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in these 4/5, you actually have 3/4 of them, or 3 out of 4. Break this up into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for each one, you have 3. I just showed them this. 3. That's not a bunny rabbit with an extra ear. That is 3 fingers up. All right. So, 1, 2, 3. Echo's trying to be funny. Out of 4. 1, 2, 3 out of 4. 1, 2, 3 out of 4. 1, 2, 3 out of 4. That is your 12/20ths.
Oh my God.
But if you want to see, okay, if you want to see how that becomes 3/5. Did I do that right? Yeah, 3/5. What you do is you will move these 3 things over here and it fits nicely, and that's how you simplify. Did I do that right? Somehow it looks just so wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, I did that right. Boom. Yeah. So please look. Sorry. Now my brain hurts. Do you notice how, don't worry about the black, okay? Now those, do you see how I've got 3 parts left? If I move them here, instead of being where they were, do you see how now we have 1/5, 2/5, 3/5? So we still have the same amount, but those aren't colored in anymore. We have the same amount, but they're now 5ths instead of 20ths. I'll show you something really neat later on. And our last one, don't work too hard. 1 times 3 is 5 times 3 is 15. It is simplifiable by 3/3. 3 divided by 3. 15 divided by 3. I draw it again, but that's making me dizzy and tired. Now, class, what did I use to simplify 3/15? I used something to simplify 3/15. What did I use? What did I use to simplify 3/15? 3/3. Okay, I used 3/3 to simplify. Do you see 3/3 in the question 3/5 times 1/3? Do you really? Go ahead. CJ says yes. Please circle 3/3. This is CJ, not me. So if it's wrong, it's not. Oh.
It's a jelly bean.
Did you mean to do this, CJ?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you see 3/3 there? Yes? What did we simplify this top one by when it was 12/20ths? 4/4. Do you see 4/4?
Right.
Okay? So, there is a way that we can go into a question and make our lives easier before we start doing any work. Simplify the question so that the answer is already simplified. And to do that, we do something very special. We communicate. Now, there are two things in multiplying. There's distributive, which we've done in algebra, and communicative. What is 3 times 2?
6.
Wrong.
What?
3 times 2 is 2 times 3. Right? Same, yet different. Right? Do you agree with me? Now, what if I wanted to make this into a fraction? What would I have to do? Add denominators. And what is the only thing that I have done to this question? I have switched where the numerators are. I have switched the numerators. So the commutative property in mathematics allows us to switch our factors. Okay, we just switch the factors, and it doesn't make a difference. 4 times 5? 4 times 5? 20. 5 times 4? 20. Right? So this is what we're going to start using. The question was 4/5, 3/4. Okay? We are going to rewrite this with new numerators. The denominators do not change. Leave them alone. We are going to switch the numerators. Take a look at what our first little buddy is. What's our first little buddy? Is it not 1/1? Yes? Times 3/5. What is 1/1 times 3/5? Isn't that just absolutely amazing? Look at that question again. 3/4 times 4/5. Because we know what we are doing, if I do this, what have I just done? I have simplified 4/4 to be 1/1, right? And now 3 times 1 is, and 1 times 5 is 5. This is called cross reduction. Cross simplifying, cross reduction, does not matter. We are just doing this right here in our question without rewriting it all. Okay? What was the one with the thirds? Was it like that? Ish? Good enough? Good enough though, right? You guys recognize we have this, right? You recognize that? So we can do something here, correct? Keep the denominators. Switch to your advantage. 3/3 is also known as, I can't even do this right. 3/3 is also known as a 1/2. 2/5. We now have 2/5 as an answer. Don't want to write that all out? Do it in the question. 2/3 times 3/5. I recognize we have 3/3. Let's make 1/1. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. We always put a box around our answer and we are done. Okay? So when you're doing your work today, I want you always to look for those. Okay? They should jump off the page and smack you in the face and say, don't do all the work, take the shortcut. Right? Because 3/3 is the same thing as 1/1, then you don't have to work hard. Okay? But there are other ways that we can use this to our advantage. Try this question. All right? Take a look at that question. Do you have an identity of 1? Do we have a 3/3 or anything like that? Do you have, if you look on the cross, do you have anything that is simplifiable? Yeah. So we'll go old school first. Oh no, you didn't see anything, so you're going to do all the work. Bad kid. 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12. Oh boy, oh boy. Goes into house. 12 and 18. 12 goes into 18. 1. Leaves 6 left over. 6 12s. But is that simplifiable? Yes. Right? So we're going to divide by 2, 2. Which now means I've got 1 and 1. Actually, I'm going to divide by 6, 6, you goofball. 1 1/2. But I don't want to do that much work. I am lazy or smart enough not to do all that work. So I give you the question all over again. Oh, you forgot to copy it down. Too bad, so sad. You're too slow. Hans, you got that all already, didn't you? Good boy. Not like Cyril. If we look, we keep our denominators. Except for I can't even write denominators properly. We switch numerators. 9/3 is also known as 9/3. It's also known as 3/1. 2/4 is also known as 1/2. What is 3 times 1? What is 1 times 2? 3/2 is also known as 1 and 1/2. That's still a lot of work. Voldy, you got that squinty eye thing going. Ugh, so much work. Why am I using up all this paper? So let's try something different. 2/3, 9/4. In the question, we simplify. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3/2. I just did this in the question. I did 9/3 turned into 3/1. 2/4 turned into 1/2. 1 times 3, 1 times 2. This simplifies to 1 and 1/2. The end.